Imagine a country so vast, so remote, that roads and railways simply cannot reach millions of its own people. The Russian Far East. Villages buried under snow, cut off from the rest of the world for months at a time. For decades, one aircraft kept those people connected to civilization. A Soviet-era biplane called the Antonov An-2. Rugged, reliable, legendary, but also 70 years old. Russia needed a replacement. Something modern, something tough, something Russian. What they built is called the UZGA LMS-901 Baikal, and today we're going deep inside it. Engine, airframe, aerodynamics, drama, and everything in between. This is a technical deep dive. Origins and purpose. The LMS-901 is built by UZGA, the Ural Works of Civil Aviation, based in Yekaterinburg, Russia. The name Baikal comes from Lake Baikal, the world's deepest freshwater lake sitting in the heart of Siberia, a fitting name for an aircraft designed to serve that very region. Development began in the late 2010s under Russia's import substitution program, a government push to reduce dependence on foreign components in critical industries. The target? Carry a 2-ton payload or 9 to 12 passengers over 1,500 kilometers at a cruise speed of 300 kilometers per hour, all from rough, unimproved airstrips. Smaller than the Antonov II, lighter, more efficient, and designed for the 21st century. Technical specifications. Let's get into the numbers. This is the part you came for. Airframe. The LMS-901 is an aluminum high-wing monoplane, almost twice as light as the Antonov II it replaces. The high-wing configuration isn't just aesthetic, it gives the aircraft excellent ground clearance for propeller safety on rough terrain and provides natural stability in low-speed flight, critical for bush operations. Landing gear. Fixed tail wheel landing gear, no retractable system. That's a deliberate engineering choice. Retractable gear adds weight and complexity. When you're landing on frozen tundra, gravel strips, or muddy fields, you want simplicity and strength. Engine, the heart of the Baikal. This is where the story gets interesting. The aircraft originally flew with a GE Aerospace H-80 turboprop, but after Western sanctions hit Russia's aviation industry, UZGA was forced to pivot to a fully domestic power plant, the Klimov VK800SM turboprop. The VK800SM produces up to 870 horsepower and drives a 4-blade AV901 propeller. Performance. Cruise speed 300 kilometers per hour. Maximum range with payload 1,500 kilometers. With auxiliary fuel tanks, that range stretches to 3,000 kilometers, and the aircraft can stay airborne for up to 8 hours. Roles: passenger transport, cargo, medical evacuation, and agricultural operations. The Baikal is designed to do it all in environments where no other modern aircraft will go. Engineering challenges. Building an aircraft for Russia's remote regions isn't just about making it fly. It has to survive conditions that would ground most aircraft on the planet. At Moscow's Central Aerodynamic Institute, engineers subjected scale models of the Baikal to some of the most demanding aerodynamic tests imaginable. The aircraft was studied at angles of attack up to 30 degrees with slip angles of 25 degrees. Spin behavior was tested at angles of attack as extreme as 90 degrees. Why? Because in remote Siberia, you might have an inexperienced pilot flying into a sudden crosswind at minus 40 degrees Celsius on a makeshift airstrip. The aircraft needs to forgive mistakes that would be fatal in any other airplane. The third prototype brought significant design improvements: a modified nose for better ergonomics and safety, more robust landing gear, and a modified wing angle specifically to prevent premature liftoff during takeoff in high winds. Every change, every revision, driven by one goal: survive anything, serve everyone. The development timeline. The road to the Baikal has been anything but smooth. The first prototype completed its maiden flight on January 30, 2022, at Yekaterinburg Airfield. Engineers were elated. It looked like Russia was finally getting its Antonov II replacement. Then, everything changed. Weeks later, Russia invaded Ukraine. Western sanctions crashed down on the Russian aviation industry overnight. The GE H-80 engine was gone, certification was pushed back, deliveries were delayed by 2 years. In 2025, Russian Deputy Prime Minister Yuri Trutnev made headlines when he stated that development of the aircraft had reached a dead end. But the Ministry of Industry and Trade pushed back, stating a state contract had already been signed to integrate the domestic VK-800 engine and resolve design issues. And then, on December 25, 2025, UZGA conducted the maiden flight of the Baikal fitted with the domestic VK-800 engine at their Yekaterinburg facility. The engine operated reliably across all tested modes: throttle control, feathering, stability. Then, on February 22, 2026, the third prototype made its first flight, with the improved nose, landing gear, and wing angle, all incorporated. From dead end to flying prototype in under 3 months. Orders, production, and the bigger picture. Despite every setback, operators across Russia have been lining up. Eastern Russian carrier Aurora Airlines has agreed to acquire 95 Baikal aircraft, with deliveries planned between 2026 and 2030, to connect remote communities and support government contracts, including forest protection and medical services. Siberian operator Aero Service signed for 7 aircraft, with deliveries between 2025 and 2028. And Agricultural Aviation Alliance Aero Kimflot agreed to acquire 120 aircraft between 2026 and 2030 to support forestry and agricultural operations across Russia's vast interior. On the international side, Kazakhstan holds a 20% stake in the Baikal project through their Kazakhstan aviation industry, giving them access to full documentation and the right to produce and export the aircraft, potentially bypassing sanctions risks when selling to third countries. The production plan calls for 25 aircraft per year from 2026 through 2029, ramping up to 34 per year from 2030 onward. Full type certification with the VK-800 engine and AV-901 propeller is targeted for late 2026, with serial production and commercial operations following certification. The UZGA LMS-901 Baikal is more than just an aircraft. It's a Russian answer to a 70-year-old question: what comes after the Antonov 2? It's a story of ambition, sanctions, setbacks, engineering persistence, and a country that refuses to leave its most remote citizens behind. Whether it ultimately succeeds in large-scale production, whether it becomes the workhorse of the Russian Far East that its designers intended, remains to be seen. But one thing is certain: on a cold December morning in Yekaterinburg, with a domestic engine turning and the Siberian sky ahead, the Baikal flew. And that changes everything.